Good afternoon. This is Debbie Broughton, your Stampin' Up demonstrator from St. Robert, Missouri. Sorry, I had to turn off my laptop or we're going to get an echo the whole time. So I just need to fix my camera a little bit here. I'm just a little bit crooked. Let's see if that will help. Oh, that looks pretty perfect. I just need to move these down a little bit so you can see them better. Let me get my comments up here. If you're here and you could comment, that would be great. I'd love to know that people are watching. And today I'm going to be here to show you some samples made with the Wild Ferns stamp set and the matching dies, which are on page 21 of the Spring Mini. Let me find that here for you. Here we go. This set is just a great way to add some texture and dimension to your greeting labels. Plus, I love the saying, wishing you well today, tomorrow, and every day that follows. So I really like that one. Here's to new beginnings, which either could be for a baby or a wedding shower. Heartfelt. Thank you, and you are greatly appreciated. So let's just get started. Here's what the stamp set looks like. It has the greetings. It has some background stamp where you can add some texture to your background. It has these ferns, which also have dies that cut them out. Hi, Judy. How are you doing? I just love this set because of how it can highlight your greeting focal point. I guess I shouldn't call it label, your greeting tag or focal point. So in here I made a sample of everything that these dies will cut out. Now I just have to get them all out of my folder here. This way I don't lose them after I cut them out. Now I got one stuck in there. Two stuck in there. Must be the static of the plastic. Okay. So here we go with what they cut out. I'm just going to kind of leave these over here, and then I will bring them over as I show you the die. And here are all the words stamped, and the background there stamped to add a little texture. So first we're going to say this piece. Now see how this is going to cut it out and it can go behind your tag? So let me find this piece. It's this piece right here. So what you're going to do is you have this tag, or you can use any different kind of tag, and you can either put it like this and have some background showing, or you can hide and you could trim off these little spots here that you can't hide if you want to hide the border. Then we have this one, which again is kind of like that one. It just has a different design. Same idea. Oh, I didn't poke out all my things in this one. Lately, my Pick-a tool keeps wanting to come apart. This will just take me a minute here. Sometimes these are a little bit hard to get out because they're so intricate and they get stuck on the other pieces when you're trying to take them out. And now that I'm trying to hurry, I probably am going to mess it up. Okay, let me get that piece out there. Then I think I just have a piece here. But that's why we have a pick a tool, to get those little pieces out of there. Well, I still got a piece. Oh, now I accidentally tore it off. But this one would make that label. And then we have this, which is on the stamp set. It's this big fern piece, and it will cut it out. And we have this one, which is again another fern piece that you stamp and cut it out. And then there's this one. I'm going to start laying some things up here. I'm going to run out of room. That cuts that one out. And then we have this swirly fern. And where is our swirly fern? I see it here. Here it is. So we have that. Then we have these 3 tags, which will cut out these 3 pieces. I'm telling you, you get a lot of, let me see how many dies you get. 13, although it seems much more than 13. We have this die, which will cut out this. We have 2 of those, so you can get a smaller one, but I don't see that one here, so maybe I forgot to cut one out, but it will be like this. This one cuts out 2 little ones at one time, which is this one. And then this one is, let me see, that one. So that's kind of how they all go, just to give you an idea. I like to show you what the dies will cut out, because sometimes there's some that I can't figure out and it takes me a while, but these were pretty all self-explanatory. So let me get these dies back on my magnetic sheet. This is how I keep my dies, on these magnetic sheets rather than that sticky paper that they're on when they come to you. And then I store my stamp set with the dies next to it in my stamp set holder, which is really shelves for DVDs, but the Stampin' Up! Stamp sets fit in them perfectly. And then I always know where the die is for this set. Although now that they're named the same thing, it won't be as hard. Before, when they had different names, sometimes it was hard to remember what name came with which stamp set. Now we know I took all these off here, so I should be able to fit them all back on here. Okay, I'm going to set this aside now. And I'm going to show you some cards I made with them. Let me just move all these pieces over here. So this is my first one. It's going to be my March online class card. I used the scallop contour dies to cut this out, and then I embossed it with the distressed brick wall. I did this, the color I did for the frame part was the Lost Lagoon, and then I cut a white one out of the other one, but I trimmed everything off the border piece and just stuck them in there. And then if you can see, I have some pretty peacock little pieces kind of stuck in there. Some copper clay twine. And then these are really rhinestones, but I colored them with my Lost Lagoon blending brushes, not blending brushes, blendings, the blends. Here's another one I used, Pebble Path, Moody Mauve, and Blackberry Bliss. Here's the, again, I used the same words because I love those words. And then on inside, I stamped some down here. On this one, on the inside, I stamped some in Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock. Or I do have some of this paper left over, so I could have put a border on the inside. Now I have this one, which is some of the Flight and Airy paper from Celebration. This is the back side of one of the bird pieces. And then I just cut out a whole bunch of different colors. I used Pretty Peacock, Lost Lagoon, and Calypso Coral just to add in some other color in there. And I did one of the frame pieces on the top and one of the frame pieces on the bottom. And then I just cut out individual pieces to stick in there. And then I added some linen thread. And I'm going to go back and put some Wink Stella on the tags. And this one needs some embellishment gems, which I will find. And what did we do on the inside? On the inside we have the paper strip, and this is for the envelope. Okay, now this one is the white and gold DSP, and I used a sponge dauber and bubble bath, and sponged down some bubble bath on that instead of having white, and then I paired it with the pebbled path. And I just used one here, and I used a couple up here. That smaller and larger curly one up there. It almost looks like a heart. And then let me show you how I did this. This is called a split front. Now I have my directions laying right here, but you know how that is. Now they've gone missing, but I will just make up a new one and tell you what it is. Let me get a new. So this is how you would have your piece of DSP cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And you want to cut 2 pieces at the same time. So I'm just going to show you this other card because it's the other side of this paper. And I did it horizontally rather than vertically. But let me show you how to measure for that. So first you measure down, you get your ruler. I don't know why I have a score line on this white paper. Let me get another piece. I have insides cut for my cards in a little baggie here so that I can just grab them and I can be ready to put an inside in. So let me get a pen. Now, if you were doing this directly onto your DSP, you would probably want to use a pencil so you could erase. But this is my direction. So I'm going to mark at 1/2 inch and at 3/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to come up here 3 inches and mark it. And I'm going to come down here at 3 inches. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect these lines. The 1/2 inch goes to this one. And the 3/4. Now if you don't get it exactly, it's going to be okay. Because both pieces are going to be cut at the same time. So if they're off a little, they'll still work. Now you would just cut on these lines. Or if you wanted to, when you put it in the cutter, you could just line up the dots. So that's what I did. I used a piece of this paper. Let me show you because I have some for the envelope. I used a piece of this paper and a piece of this paper. And then see the backs? So I did these two, then I took the middle one out of, I did these two, then the middle one out of the one that used this, and then for this one it's just opposite. I used the middle in that and the two sides in this, which is just the opposite of the paper. I hope that makes sense to you. It's kind of like the one we did at Christmas time. That was almost just like this, only it was 4. I think you had 4 pieces that you put together. Just something different. I'll put a picture of my directions here and I'll write down the measurements. This is a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch from the top. This is 3 inches from the bottom and 3 inches from this side. From left side, and from the bottom. And both of these are from the top. So I'll take a picture of this and put it in my comments in case you all want to make. But remember to cut out 2 sheets at the same time, so if you're off a little bit, both will be off a little bit, and it will still all go back together. Because you can't flip this one over. You would think if you just cut one piece, you could flip this over, but it's going to be mirrored, and it won't work. Believe me, I tried. So, on the insides, I kind of stamped here, but I also have, after I stamped, I found this piece here. And this is for the envelope. I will probably use this one on this one for the envelope, and I had a little piece left over inside for that one, and this one will be this side. I'm trying to decorate my envelopes more because I always end up with like a 2-inch strip of DSP and I don't know what to do with it. So now I'm just trying to use it up as I'm making cards. And the other day someone told me they really liked it when they got an envelope that was decorated for their birthday. Well, I hope you all have a good afternoon. I have 2 more bundles to show you. One is Delicate Forest, and I only have the dies out of that bundle. But I'm thinking I should have bought the stamp set, so that's probably on my list. And then there's a new online exclusive called Simply, I think there's zinnias, but I've been hearing other people do their sneak peeks and they call them zinnias. So they're beautiful though, in all these bright summer colors. So I'm looking forward to showing you those. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.